This is Woodman here. I wanted to talk to you about the concept of demonic principalities and how they may influence their followers on human behavior and how this blends elements of religious, spiritual, and mythological beliefs. In various religion and esoteric traditions, certain demonic entities or principalities are believed to have malevolent intentions and influence over their followers. These entities are often depicted as encouraging harmful actions against individuals deemed to be of particular spiritual significance. Here's an overview of some principalities and entities from various traditions that are often associated with such dark influences. First off, let's talk about demonic principalities in the Christian tradition. So, in terms of these principalities, um, obviously you're going to find biblical references to this throughout the course of Christian theology. And so, particularly when you think about the concept of spiritual warfare, the term principalities refers to a type of demonic hierarchy. Ephesians chapter 6, verse 12 mentions principalities as part of a broader classification of spiritual adversaries, including those powers and rulers of the darkness. In terms of their role and influence, these principalities are often depicted as having authority over various regions or aspects of the world, and in this sense, they're believed to be involved in orchestrating spiritual oppression or opposition against certain believers. They might inspire and or manipulate human actions to undermine and attack those who are seen as amongst the light, the righteous, or the faithful. What about specific demonic entities? Well, first there is Belial. In some Christian and occult traditions, Belial is considered to be a powerful demon associated with lawlessness as well as wickedness. Belial is often depicted as encouraging followers to engage in immoral and destructive behavior, which might include targeting those who are seen as absolutely holy or righteous. Asmodeus. Known from the Book of Tobit and later occult writings, Asmodeus is often associated with lust and vengeance. In some traditions, this demon is thought to incite destructive behaviors as well as harmful acts, including acts of violence or acts of a predatory nature. What about other entities in occult and esoteric traditions? Well, we have some demonic hierarchies that we would need to discuss in such an instance. So, first off, there is Goetia. The Goetia, a part of the Lesser Key of Solomon, describes various demons and their hierarchies. Demons like Astaroth, Paimon, and Baal are depicted as having the power to influence and manipulate human actions. These entities are often described as having the ability to incite individuals to commit evil acts, including targeting those with some degree of divine or spiritual significance, which would then mean that the greater the spiritual ranking, the more that these individuals will be singled out. Demonology texts. Various demonology texts and grimoires discuss entities that are supposedly encourage followers to prey on the spiritually significant or to sacrifice certain individuals that are deemed right for sacrificing. These texts often describe elaborate rituals and practices intended to harness the power of these entities. Mythological entities. In the Sumerian and Mesopotamian lore, we have a particular set of demons to talk about. In ancient Mesopotamian mythology, demons like Lamashtu and Pazuzu were believed to cause harm to humans, particularly targeting women and children. Although not always directly aligned with the concept of chosen people, these entities reflect ancient beliefs in malevolent forces, which would definitely target any individuals that they could identify as being vulnerable. What about the cultural and folkloric influences? Well, there are also African traditional religions. Um, in the African traditional religions, there are obviously deities which are quite good and which are helpful to humanity, but there are also trickster spirits. And in some African traditional religions, trickster spirits or malevolent entities may engage in actions that undermine spiritual or moral integrity. These spirits, while not always seen as demonic in the traditional sense, might influence followers to act against those perceived as spiritually significant. We also have Haitian Vodou, and that would probably also go into areas like Santeria and other like-minded spiritual practices. The In the Haitian Vodou, we have the Loa, which are known as the spirits, and they have very complex and multifaceted roles. While many are malevolent, others may have more ambiguous or challenging aspects. The influence of these spirits can sometimes lead to actions that are harmful or even outright antagonistic, though they are often tied to the broader context of spiritual balance and justice. Let us now talk about some theological and spiritual interpretations. In terms of theological views, right, we can see that in terms of Christian interpretation, uh, via this Christ like perspective, the focus is on spiritual warfare and the idea that demonic principalities seek to undermine the work of God through various means. In other words, these demonic entities want to work against people having strong faith in God, being righteous by God, and so they want to incite individuals to act against the chosen or the faithful. And the specifics may vary across different denominations and interpretations, but the idea is generally the same: is that they want to find ways to take these faithful of God off track. Spiritual warfare. Modern day spiritual practices, in the contemporary practices and some charismatic Christian movements, there is a focus on combating spiritual forces of evil through prayer, fasting, and spiritual discernment. These practices aim to protect individuals from the perceived demonic influences, as well as help maintain their connection to God, as well as their faith and spiritual integrity. In conclusion, the belief in these demonic principalities and their influence on human behavior is deeply rooted in various religious and esoteric traditions. These entities are often described as having a malevolent impact, encouraging harmful actions against those who are seen as faithful to God, who are seen as of the light, who are seen as spiritually significant, or perhaps even righteous. The concept varies across different belief systems and is interpreted in a plethora of ways, very diverse series of ways, reflecting a broad spectrum of spiritual and cultural understandings from people to people. Hope you've enjoyed this message. If you're new here, welcome aboard. This is a safe space. If you're returning, I appreciate your support of the channel. I love you very much. Thank you all. May the Most High God, Son Jesus Christ, the Mother of Wisdom, Sophia, as well as Spirit of the Universe, bless you, guide you, protect you, keep you safe, and allow you to travel on this journey of life and being fully in your purpose and doing all things that are pleasing to the Most High God. Woodman signing off. Hope you enjoyed this message. Take care. Have a good one.